News Channel 5 on your side presents Kaleidoscope, focusing on people who make a difference in Northeast Ohio communities.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good to have you with us. Dr. Martina Moore of the Moore Counseling and Mediation Services Incorporated is here. She's going to explain how her organization is helping individuals in the greater Cleveland community. Then we'll hear from Lauren Unke, she's Dean of the Mandel Humanities Center at Cuyahoga Community College, and she'll tell us about this new faculty location located on the college's eastern campus. And on the broadcast after that, we'll hear from Ingrid Miller and Debbie McHam of A Cultural Exchange. The organization is celebrating its 25th anniversary. It's a good year for them. Good afternoon again. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin with Dr. Martina Moore of Moore Counseling and Mediation Services. Good to have you with us, Dr. Moore.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, tell me, what is it that Moore Counseling and Mediation Services does?
We provide outpatient mental health and substance abuse services to employees of various organizations and as well as to individuals in the community.
That's a big job, isn't it, in Greater Cleveland?
It is a very large job.
Yeah. What kind of services do you provide? How do you help them who are dealing with mental health issues or substance abuse issues?
Well, it depends on the way that they come to us, but we have various programs, such as we have our employee assistance programs, where we are actually work with area businesses, and the businesses, they contract with us and they refer their employees to us for confidential counseling services. And then we also have a service line that's our intensive outpatient services for substance abuse. And we have contracts with the area courts where we actually go into many of the jails and we complete assessments and we will complete diagnoses and recommend levels of care for individuals. And it's to help people in lieu of being in prison, but to actually get the assistance that they need.
When you deal with somebody who's got a substance abuse problem, you not only have to get them off that substance abuse, you try to find out, how'd you get there?
Absolutely.
Where do you begin? With that kind of counseling?
Well, the first step is to identify the problem, and then once we identify the problem, we begin to develop a rapport with them and find ways to motivate them to want to be sober first. And then later we can find out, okay, how did you get here? Where did you start? And we begin to work with them on what's called a treatment plan in order to find ways to work with them to remain sober.
You deal with domestic violence issues as well?
We do.
Or is that all is that oftentimes part of the whole thing?
Oftentimes it's part of it, not always, but it is part of it sometimes. And we actually work with the offenders of domestic violence with helping them not to reoffend.
How many locations do you work out of?
We have 6 locations. Our main location is in Euclid, and then we have locations in Lorain County, Akron, as well as in Canton.
Can somebody just call you and get started?
Yes,
I mean, there may be somebody out there sitting on the couch or on the side of the bed watching us right now who says, I've got a problem. And I'm dealing with this, and I need Leon and Martina, I need to get some help.
Absolutely. They can call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we're there to help.
Is that phone number, that 404-1900?
Yes, sir.
That's a direct line?
That's a direct line.
216-404-1900.
Yes.
Or you can go to morecounseling.com for more information on everything we're talking about. But if they made that phone call right now, somebody would be on the other end of that line.
Someone would answer that phone.
What do you do when they call? Where do you start?
We thank them for calling. We tell them that we understand how hard it was to make that phone call, and then we immediately begin to address their needs.
You've got a PhD.
Yes.
In all of this, huh? What got you into this kind of work? When did you see a need, and why did you see a need?
I saw the need almost over 30 years ago. My father is a recovering alcoholic and drug addict, and he went into treatment when I was in high school. And I learned from him what it was like to be an alcoholic, but to also get sober and live a life. And now he's one of my best friends. And we have a great relationship. And so I wanted to give back and help others to be able to have that same opportunity.
Before he got clean and sober, when you were living in the house with your dad and he was struggling with this, he had a problem.
He had a problem.
But you had a problem too, didn't you?
I did.
It affected everybody else in the house.
It affected the entire system, and that's why we work with the entire family system. Our entire system was sick. And when we all got healthy, then we helped one another, and now we help others.
What do you envision for your organization, More Counseling and Mediation Services?
Well, right now we've expanded, and we want to continue to expand nationally as well as regionally. We also want to expand more. But our main goal is to really find the need and develop the programs around the need. So if it means that the need is here in Central Ohio, and that's where we stay, in Northeast Ohio, then that's what we do. But I believe that there's more of a need, and I want to continue to educate others on how to do that.
Do you ever have clients who come to you and say, Martina Moore, I just don't know where to begin. I don't know how to stop the violence around me. I don't know how to stop the substance abuse that I may be dealing with, or I don't know how to stop the other person in my life who's involved in that. And you listen. Do they come to you sometimes and just say, I don't even know where to begin?
We do. We get people at their weakest moments, and usually when an individual comes to us, they're at their weakest moments. And so we try to empower them when they're at that weakest moment to let them know that there is hope. Because when you know there's hope and that you can do it, then it motivates you to continue the process.
You see them at the other end of the pipeline sometimes, and I shouldn't use that word because I didn't mean it like that. You see them at the other end of the line
Exactly.
when they come out of the situation.
Right, right. And that's the greatest thing to see. Once they're healthy, once they're healed, once they're really working a program, and they come back to me years later and say thank you. They may have been angry with me at that first point, but then at a later point, they're very elated.
Your dad, he's one of those kinds of people.
He's one of those people. Yes, he is.
How's he doing now? Okay.
He's doing well. He's doing very well. He just, him and I laugh because now he's involved in the church and just doing so much now. So it's such a great opportunity to be able to see it.
This is a huge, huge problem in the greater Cleveland area, in Northeast Ohio.
It is huge in Northeast Ohio.
It's huge everywhere in the United States,
It is, but it's huge for us. And there's people out there that are suffering and they need the help. So if they're hearing us, I just want them to know that they can call us. They can call today.
And that phone number is 404-1900 in the 216 area code. Somebody will pick up right now if you make that call.
And we'll answer.
Okay, good deal. Many thanks, Dr. Martina Moore of Moore Counseling and Mediation Services. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
God bless you for what you do.
Thank you.
Tell your dad we said hello also.
I will.
Glad he's doing okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to take a break. This is Kaleidoscope. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope today. Lauren Arnke is Chair and Dean of the Jack, Joseph, and Morton Mandel Humanities Center at Tri-C. She's here to tell us about the new center and the curriculum there. Good to see you, Lauren.
It's great to be here, Leon. Thank you.
Well, good to see you. And you've got a new job over there. Been over there for some months now.
Yeah, I joined Tri-C at the end of September as this exciting new initiative around humanities education here.
Yeah. Tell me about it. What does the Jack, Joseph, and Morton Mandel Humanities Center, what does it deal with at Tri-C?
This is a new opportunity for students to study the humanities, the disciplines of philosophy and history and literature and religious studies, but in a way that really connects to civic engagement. How do we take those ideas from the classroom that maybe seem abstract, but think about how do they apply today in our lives, in our community? And we believe that by doing that, we'll enhance our students' leadership skills. We'll be able to provide 200 scholarships annually for students to study at the Humanities Center and study the humanities at Tri-C on every campus, and which will be great for them to be able to transfer on to a four-year school as well.
Yeah. So the goal is to pick up this information in the classroom and now put it at street level where it will impact the lives of people around us.
Yeah, applied humanities, if you will. I mean, when we face a problem in our community, what's the history of that problem, right? What are the ethics behind it? I mean, all these subjects apply to our lives. We use them all the time. We may not think of it that way, and it really, I think, will give students a tremendous lift.
There's an organization well known in Cleveland, which has been around for more than 100 years, the City Club of Cleveland, and you have a partnership. We've got an old organization, and thank goodness they're there. They do wonderful work. And we've got a new organization, the Jack, Joseph, and Morton Mandel Humanities Center, partnering. What's that partnership about?
Our curriculum is going to be dependent, as we launch here, on very strong partnerships in the community, which will give our students opportunities to work with community organizations to do that kind of applied learning. And the City Club and Dan Malthrop jumped on board right away. We'll be collaborating together on a forum first week in May 5th and 6th, where the students will put on a forum on what they see as the key issues that face us here in education in Northeast Ohio, that the City Club will broadcast and sponsor for us, and we'll have have the chair of the National Endowment for the Humanities, Dr. William Adams, will be here as our keynote on May 5th.
How do you take this out of the classroom and put it into the community? What's that process? Just give me a thumbnail sketch of how you get it from the classroom. Now, what we've learned. Now, let's get out here and let's see what we can do. What do you do?
Well, let me take the example of the City Club project. You know, right now, the students are grappling with how to put together a forum. Well, that's not just a practical idea of how many people on the panel and where are we going to get the microphones, although that's that. But, okay, if these are the 2 or 3 issues in education the students are finding really crucial, for example, access across racial and ethnic communities, or the economic status of our teachers.
Yeah.
How do they take the ideas that are driving them there in the classroom and put it in a forum that people will want to attend and that a community partner will want to join? It's taking that idea that they're so passionate about in the room and saying, well, how do we put that on a stage?
Lauren Anke, Chair and Dean of the Jack Joseph Morton Mandel Humanities Center of Cuyahoga Community College, you want to take this to a national level. I mean, you can be a model. You've got other folks looking at you, at what you, obviously, you got other folks outside of Cleveland looking at what you and your organization is doing. How do you feel about that?
Tremendously honored to have the opportunity to steward it, but you know, the impact of this gift from the Mandel Foundation to Tri-C to invest in humanities education at this scale, so it's a $10 million gift at a community college, is rare these days when so much focus is on STEM. And to take this and say, we believe in these students and we believe that the humanities will help them develop the values and also recognize the values around them in a way that can really lift them and lift our community and come back to our community and participate and be full civic partners. So I think that the community colleges really provide so many opportunities, and Tri-C is such a flagship community college nationally.
Yeah, about 50 years old now, a little bit more than 51 years, something like that.
That's right, and a real leader in community college education. So to have this opportunity to create curriculum in the humanities that really shows their value to the community. You know, even though we worry about students who maybe become English majors or philosophy majors, what kind of jobs they're going to get, generation after generation from all walks of life, students flock to humanities courses because it's the record of our own human life.
We need the science, we need the technology, we need the engineering, we need the mathematics.
Absolutely.
The STEM program, but we also need those humanities.
That's right. That's right. Steve Jobs of Apple said that it really, if you put those two together, that's what makes things sing. And I think that, especially now, as we face this glut of information, this wondrous glut of information, we have so much at our fingertips, but what are the ethics of that? How do we handle new privacy issues? How do we deal with history? History opens up to us in a really exciting way with all this information. So it's those things working together. So we now have the resources here at Tri-C to do something very unique and that no one else around the country is doing, and it's very, very exciting for the community.
Good to have you on the broadcast, my friend. Lauren Anke, she's with Tri-C. She's the chair and the dean of the Jack Joseph Morton Mandel Humanities Center at Cuyahoga Community College. Good to have you on the broadcast. Good to see you, my friend.
It's always great to see you.
One of the stellar people in this town who just keeps us right on the beam, wherever you are. Good to see you, Lauren.
Thank you, Leon.
Okay, by the way, more information on everything we're talking about, go to tric.edu. Tric.edu can get more information on everything. Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you.
Taking a break. I'll be right back. We'll talk about a cultural exchange. But first, these words especially for you. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. I'm glad you're in touch with us, too. Good to be in touch with you as well. A Cultural Exchange is celebrating its 25th anniversary. It's a nonprofit literacy-based organization focused on children and reading. The director of programs, Ingrid Miller, is here to tell us more about A Cultural Exchange. Good to see you, Ingrid.
Good to see you as well.
Yeah, 25 years. The organization's been there.
25 years, yes, yes. It's been a great 25 years. We're looking forward to the next 25.
Yeah. I remember when it opened. I was part of that celebration.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, over there with the McHams.
Absolutely.
Yeah, running a wonderful organization. Refresh the audience about the job of a cultural exchange,
Sure.
what it does.
As you said, we are a literacy-based, multicultural arts organization for children, not-for-profit. And our mission there at a cultural exchange is to give children access to the very best books, featuring children of color as the central character, the hero, the heroines in the story, giving all children actually access to great books because we believe that reading is the winning lottery ticket at a cultural exchange. So it's all about access.
I like that. Reading is the winning lottery
It's the winning.
because that's the bottom line.
Absolutely. Yes.
You've got a shirt on that says it, and perhaps we can get a shot of that shirt. It's freedom, but freedom is spelled with an R-E-A-D.
There you
as
go.
in read. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
That's what it's all about. Reading is freedom. When you can explore and travel and be who you imagine you always wanted to be in a story, that's freedom. Having a lifelong passion for reading for pleasure, not always reading to ace the test, but to really get into great books, great literature, again, seeing yourself in a positive way, that's freedom.
Yeah. A cultural exchange is located at 12624 Larchmere Avenue in Cleveland. Now, that's in the Shaker Square area of Cleveland on the southeast side of the city. A cultural exchange, 12624 Larchmere. As we talk about reading, you're celebrating something called Read, Baby, Read. Tell me about that program.
So Read Baby Read is our largest program at a cultural exchange. Read Baby Read can be found in many school districts, actually across the country. We've been able to expand this book club program for children, reading again for pleasure. Children congregate, read great award-winning multicultural books, discuss their feelings, discuss things that are happening in their lives. Their lives come alive actually through reading these great books. So they're able to discuss very pertinent feelings that they have through this book club.
People can go right to the cultural exchange, and you can see a lot of these programs and see all kinds of things at 12624 Larchmere in Cleveland, a cultural exchange. Celebrating 25 years.
25 years.
What are some of the accomplishments that you and the others who work there are pleased about?
Sure. One of the big things that we are so pleased about is that when children talk to us, they say thank you. Thank you so much for existing. If we didn't have this book club, we would not have access to these great books. A lot of books that they normally don't see in their school libraries or in their homes. They are able to have access to them through a cultural exchange. So we're very pleased. We're very proud of that. We have a new program. It's a mentoring program in partnership with the East Cleveland School District and Olivet Institutional Baptist Church. We are meeting with middle school African American boys, pairing them with African American males in the community, and talking about achievement, resiliency, character, and hope. And so we are so proud of the strides that we've made through that particular initiative. So looking forward to the next 25 years, we are hoping to put 25 book clubs around the city. And that is our latest project, actually, that we're working on.
To get the kids involved in reading. Some years ago, I was in the library, and I was looking in the shelves, pulling out a book, and a young fellow said, "You're Leon Bibb, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, young man, I am." He says, "Are you working on a story, getting information?" I says, "No, I'm looking for a good book to read for pleasure." He says, "You read for pleasure?" I says, "Every day I read something." And he and I sat down and we talked about it. And we talked about the importance of getting a good book, whether it's an electronic book or a regular book. book with pages in
Sure.
it. The importance of doing that, and you can have your whole world opened up.
Open up. That's the goal. That's the mission. That's the message. That's the vision of a cultural exchange. It has always been. It has never changed. And we are looking forward to proceeding into the future, keeping that same message and vision going.
We thank you for being here. Ingrid Miller,
It's a
she's
pleasure.
Director of Programs of a Cultural Exchange, which is celebrating its 25th anniversary, so we give you some applause on that.
Thank you so
It's
much.
a wonderful organization located at 12624 Larchmere in Cleveland. By the way, the phone number's at the bottom of the screen. We've kept it there for most of this segment of the broadcast, 216-229-8300, or you can go to a cultural exchange, aculturalexchange.org. That's at the bottom of the screen as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Spelled with a
That's what it's about.
F-R-E-A-D.
Yes.
O-M. Freedom.
Freedom.
Many thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ingrid. I'll take a break. I'll be back with Marsha Maccabee, the Urban League, after this. When you see that graphic, you always know that means Marsha Maccabee is in the on-deck circle, to use a baseball term. You're coming to bat.
I'm coming to bat. All right, I'm ready.
What's on your mind today, Marsha Maccabee?
Well, what's on my mind today, Leon, is the importance of this 2016 presidential election. And certainly, we know we usually have our highest voter turnout during a presidential election year. But I want to encourage our audience to consider this, that equally important is the primary that's coming up.
March 15th.
That's right. So the people who emerge out of the primary in each party are the folks who are going to run for the presidential election. And so whoever gets selected in the primary often determines the outcome of the presidential election. So it's very, very important that we get out there and vote and make sure that we're voting for those candidates or that candidate that we want to see as president,
Right.
so that they're in the seat to run against the opposing party.
And all the other issues which are on the ballot, local issues
Absolutely,
on
which
the
are
ballot
very,
as
those
well.
absolutely very important. Judges, all those things are going to make such a big difference in our communities.
I always say if you don't vote, then you have nothing to complain about
That's exactly right.
regarding government. And all
Oh,
of that,
absolutely.
regarding government,
That's
yeah.
right, because this is a chance for you to give your voice.
My dad used to take me when I was a little boy to vote, and he would, you know, he would say, "Now this is what we're doing. We're voting right here. We're putting an X right there."
Yes.
He used pencil and paper in those days.
Yes,
He would put an
yes,
X right there,
yes,
not there, but right
yes,
there. Said
yes.
my dad. He taught me that the importance of
Yeah.
voting. Many thanks.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah. For Marsha Maccabee, I'm Leon Bibb. Take care.
This has been a presentation of News Channel 5's Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.